Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. In part 3 we were learning that how to design an AXI4 based IPs where the AXI4 will act like a data interface and the interface will be used to write or read data from the AXI4 based IP. And we also learned in part 3 that we can use AXI RAM controller along with the FIFO, and we learned how to map the signals of AXI RAM controller and FIFO. And towards the end of the video, we learned that FIFO full flag or almost full flag can be used to create back pressure. And the back pressure is of two types that we can create with the help of these two flags. In software back pressure, full flag or almost full flag can be used as one of the bit of the status register. And the master can read that status register to know whether there is a capacity in the IP to receive data or not. And I promise you that I will tell you what do I mean by hardware back pressure and how these two flags can be used to create back pressure. But one important information, if you have not watched part 1, part 2 and part 3, please don't continue with part 4 because you may not be able to link the topic. I will share the link of part 1, part 2 and part 3 videos in the description section as well as in the I-bar section on the top right corner of the video. You can go through them. And now without wasting much time, let us get started and see how we can use full flag or almost full flag to create the hardware level back pressure. And then later on we will discuss the remaining aspects of the AXI4 based IP design. Friends, this is where we left the part 3, the FIFO, which is interfacing with AXI RAM controller, has status flags towards the right side, full flag or almost full flag. And with the help of these two flags, we are going to create back pressure, hardware level back pressure. For that, we need to have very little knowledge of AXI4 protocol, and that particular part I am going through now. Friends, I have downloaded AMBA AXI and ACE protocol specification. Now I will go to the signal level description. So basically, the AXI bus is divided into two parts. One is write channel, one is read channel. And write channel is further divided into three parts. Write address channel signals. From these signals, the address is passed from the AXI bus. And this is passed from the master to the slave. Address is always passed from the master to the slave. Then is write data channel signals. And these signals carry the data that we want to write inside the IP. And in response to the address and data channels, the slave gives a response. And that response is carried on write response channel signals. Now this is clear that write address channel and write data channel, these signals are coming from master to slave. Now let me show you write address channel signals. In write address channel signals, if you see, this address is sent from master to the slave. Along with this address, there are many other signals. I am not going into the detail of this. Along with that, there is a valid signal that goes from master to the slave. This is the most important signal I want to talk. This comes from slave to the master. This is called ready signal. But friends, what is the importance of this ready signal? This signal indicates that slave is ready to accept an address and associated signals, control signals. That means if this signal is 1, slave is ready to accept address and associated control signals. But if this AW ready is 0, slave is not ready to accept any of this. Now our full flag or almost full flag, we can tie to this AW ready. But there is one caution, because when full flag or almost full flag is high, that means we are not ready. So we have to put an inverter and then we have to tie to this AW ready signal. Now let us go to the other part of the signals. Write data channel signals. Similarly here also we have a W data which carries data from master to the slave. Now slave has to give W ready signal. What is the importance of it? This signal indicates that slave can accept the write data. That means if this W ready is 1, slave is ready to accept data. But if this is 0, slave is not ready to accept data. That means we can tie our full flag or almost full flag to this W ready. Again the same caution, we have to put the inverter before tying our full flag or almost full flag to W ready. So if we tie our full flag or almost full flag to W ready and a W ready signal, we can very easily say to the master that our IP is not ready to accept address or data. That's all. That is back pressure. Friends, this hardware level back pressure is very important when you are designing very fast AXI4 based IPs like DDR controller. Friends, ideally because AXI RAM controller is interfacing the AXI interface, so AW ready and W ready will be given by AXI RAM controller only. But because AXI RAM controller is part of our IP only, and the back pressure should come from the blocks from our IP towards the AXI RAM controller, and that back pressure should go to the AXI bus interconnect. But because we are using simple memory interface and there is no provision to create back pressure to the AXI RAM controller. So what can we do? Whatever full or almost full flags are there, we can invert them, and then we can put a common AND gate by taking the readies from AXI RAM controller and full or almost full flag from our FIFO, and them together we will get the ultimately AW ready and W ready which will go to the AXI bus interconnect. Friends, according to me, this is one of the method to create back pressure, hardware level back pressure on the AXI interconnect. If you have any other advice, you can share it in the comment section and we can discuss it with others also. Friend, this hardware level back pressure control is very useful when you are planning to design faster AXI4 IPs like DDR controller and so. Friends, so far we have seen how the data will be written inside the FIFO through this AXI interface, through this simple memory interface. So that was using the right side of the FIFO. So once the data is written inside the FIFO, the read side of the FIFO will become active, which is interfacing with the other part of the IP. What is this other part of the IP? This is totally protocol specific. For example, if we are writing our IP as a UART transmitter, then this part of the IP will receive data from the FIFO and will packetize it in the form of UART protocol and will send it. Similarly, this can be any other protocol as well. But now let us see how the read side will be active. Towards the right side, we saw that these flags, full and almost full flag, will help to create the back pressure. And on the read side of FIFO, there are very important flag that is called empty flag. So this part of the IP should poll this empty flag. If empty flag is 1, that means FIFO is empty. There is no data to transmit. But when we start writing data inside the FIFO, this empty flag will go 0. So if this empty flag goes 0, this part of the logic will come to know that there is a data inside the FIFO that should be transmitted. So as soon as the empty flag goes 0, so this part of the IP will take this data and will packetize it as per the protocol and will forward it to the outside world. Friends, we saw that how to implement AXI based IP which will act like a transmitter of any protocol, and it will be AXI based IP. And in the upcoming video we'll see how to implement a receiver of any protocol which will be AXI4 based only. In that case, data will come from the outside and it will be received by the AXI master. Friends, this is all for the current video session. And with this, I am going to end this video session. I hope that this would be quite informative for all of you. If you also like this video, please press the like button and you can share your feedback in the comment section. And in future also, we are going to create many such videos. So to be aligned with our channel, don't forget to subscribe it and press the bell icon to get the notification of all the upcoming videos. Thank you so much for watching and your time.